There's been some buzz about what might be next for me as well. I don't pay much credence to it, but nevertheless. But I'm ready to put an end to the speculation. With the competition gearing up in the next few weeks, I want to announce I'm ready to try out for the Colorado Rockies this spring. Who needs legislation when you can have home runs? And frankly, we all know they could use the help. All kidding aside, together, we can ensure that our state remains the very best place to live, to raise a family, to launch a business. We can strengthen our dynamic economy, create jobs, and make Colorado safer. And we all know, because the voters know and have told us, that we need to work to make Colorado more affordable. Together, we can create more housing for Coloradans at all income levels and increase access to convenient and low-cost transit opportunities, improve our quality of life, make the future of our state brighter and our state more livable. A better environment, cleaner air and water, a strong economy, and better transportation. The real-life situations that families face on rent or mortgage need no introduction or explanation to any of us because they loom large within our own personal friends and family network of Coloradans that are struggling to make their rent or mortgage every month. It's truly a matter of statewide concern. Simply put, we must create more housing in our state that Coloradans at all income levels can rent or buy in the communities where people want to live near job opportunities that pay well. And by reducing housing costs, we will also help decrease homelessness in our communities. And I want to thank the mayors who are on the front lines of this issue and have joined us here today. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston, Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman, Colorado Springs Mayor Yemi Mobilati, and Fort Collins Mayor Jenny Arndt. Let's welcome them. Look, I've been spending a lot of time listening to Coloradans across the state, from Pueblo to Fort Collins, from Aurora to Grand Junction. It's no surprise that everywhere in our state, the top issue is housing costs. I hear from parents who fear their children will never own a home in Colorado. And they aren't alone. 83% of Colorado parents worry that their children won't be able to afford to live here. I hear from older Coloradans who fear they won't be able to age in the communities that they call home, or won't be able to downsize because even though their house might have increased in value, high interest rates and property taxes prevent them from affording even a smaller home. That's why I hope that this session we can work to finally make the senior homestead exemption portable. I also hear from young parents who want to raise their children in a home of their own, from frontline workers, from teachers, firefighters, police officers, healthcare workers. I thank our exceptional state workforce, many of whom can't afford to live near the community that they work and are forced to spend significant time and cost on the road getting to their jobs. I hear from business owners who have difficulty recruiting the talent they need, college students who sadly have lost hope and don't believe that homeownership will ever be a part of their future. In our state, there's a sense of hopelessness and despair around housing that's on par in some ways with how people feel about the divisiveness of our national politics. Since the start of 2022, higher interest rates and home values have driven the typical mortgage payment up by over 70%, and income has simply not kept up. To do nothing would be, as Spock would say, highly illogical. Last year, we took an important step, banning growth caps that outlawed new housing in our communities thanks to the leadership of Representative Lindstedt and Senator Gonzalez. And I also signed an executive order to remove bureaucratic barriers and cut through red tape, reducing turnaround time on contracts and grants from the Department of Local Affairs and the Division of Housing to 90 days. The state is putting our skin in the game and doing our part to solve the housing crisis. And with your partnership, we can and we will build on that progress. Together, we can create a Colorado where homeowners have the property rights and financial tools that they need to build an accessory dwelling unit, also known as a granny flat or a mother-in-law cottage or a casita for an aging parent or a long-term renter, creating more housing supply that's inherently affordable and filling critical gaps in our communities near job centers. According to a recent survey, more than 80% of Coloradans are supportive of allowing ADUs in their communities. Today, we're joined by somebody that shows the success of accessory dwelling units, Joseph Acefa, a Coloradan who directly experienced the benefit of ADUs. Joseph said that the ability to build an ADU on his property with the Denver Housing Authority has been a game changer for his family. Increased his property value and created another lower cost housing option for the family of four that he's now renting to. Please join me in welcoming Joseph, who's here today with his family. Together, we can help more Coloradans like Joseph make decisions that work best not only for themselves and their families, but create more housing opportunities for others. And I look forward to working with the sponsors who are leading the way in this exciting legislative effort. This session, I will be supportive of bills that reduce the cost of housing and encourage innovative approaches like new financing strategies, easing parking restrictions, tackling liability costs for multifamily condos, reducing the cost of fire insurance, especially in the face of increasing climate-related disasters like the Marshall Fire, which we just observed the second anniversary of. And I will be very skeptical of bills that would increase the cost of housing. As you might be able to tell, housing policy creates more affordable choices for Coloradans. In some ways, it's my Roman Empire. If you don't get that joke, just ask somebody from Generation Z. Ending discriminatory occupancy limits that especially hurt renters is another important way that we can break down harmful barriers to housing and create more equity. And I want to thank Representative Mabry and Representative Rutenall and Senator Gonzalez and Senator Exum for taking on this important housing and civil rights issue.